Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And today I'm going to do another reaction video. I'm actually going to react to some of the highlights from Kentucky versus Louisville and talk about a couple different points that I wanted to kind of touch on and what I've seen over the last couple of games and what I think what we might look like going forward. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to just play some of these highlights and we'll talk about some things while this is going on. So,
it's the Kentucky
the first thing that I wanted to say
for the 55th time
was obviously,
when
you talk about what Toppin did, Toppin seemed to have wake up, and he looked more like he did in the summer, and they 100% need Toppin to play like that if they want to have a chance in March at all. They need two people to be able to help Oscar Tshiebwe, right? Obviously, they got Casey Wallace that's pretty much been probably the next most consistent player. But we need those three guys to be able to give us some high-level production in order for us to be effective against most teams, because so far this season, it's just all been Oscar and Casey Wallace, and everybody else, you just never know what you're going to get. A lot of inconsistency, way too much inconsistency. And if we could get Toppin, and I know he ain't going to do career highs every night, but if we can get Toppin to where we just know we're going to get a consistent 15 or 18, then we'd be good. Just little moves like that. Like, let me pause it for a second. But just little moves like that just was him being confident and aggressive, right? Like he's locked in. You can tell he's focused, right? He caught the ball, and he just had a feel for already what he was going to do, how things was going to play out. You could just tell he was ready, like he wanted the ball, and as soon as he got the ball, he knew where his advantage was. He went right around his man, went underneath the other side of the basket, and just laid it up. And those are those plays that I be talking about when I say just simple, like, I ain't going to say high basketball IQ, but just simple basketball IQ plays. And that's what a lot of our team has not been doing this season. They've been making a lot of bonehead plays. So if we can just get guys to just do simple stuff like that, we will be a whole lot more efficient on offense. And, like I said, when we get one or two guys playing well, that's going to make it better for everybody. It's going to open it up for Toppin. It's going to open it up for Tshiebwe. So that they ain't going to just be able to send two or three guys to just sit in his lap the whole game. And Tshiebwe still has been able to produce, but we just need him to be able to do it in a more efficient manner. If he's getting single covered or even double covered, that would be great. But when they just all collapse, it's three guys surrounding him, it's just gonna be hard for him all season. But I like the way Toppin actually finally woke up, started being aggressive. I don't know what happened, but it looked like somebody put their foot in his ass and was like, bro, get out here and do something. But anyways, let me play. Let's watch some more.
Settle for that deep shot.
Wheeler, Livingston along the baseline. Toppin, pull up Jay.
See, that's just a confident basketball move. That's a guy playing the game and just sure of what he's going to do. Like, when you can just, even though he missed it, look, even though he missed it right there, that's just one of those aggressive plays that's like, all right, we can live with that. Like, you just being aggressive, you making the defense have to react to something. And it was able, even though you missed, it put Oscar in a position to just clean it up for you real easy. You know what I mean? And the more baskets that Oscar can get like that, just easy baskets, the less that he's going to have to work to make all of these 1 and 2 moves to try to score. it's just gonna make the whole team play more efficient. But you know, when you see Toppin doing stuff like that, like he just get the ball and he make one or two bounces and pull up. That's the simple plays that the great players just do super easy. Like if you watch Kevin Durant play, and by no means am I trying to compare him to Kevin Durant, but what I'm saying is when you watch guys like Kevin Durant or guys like Booker or Kawhi Leonard, guys that got really nice mid-range games, most of the time if you really watch it, they just taking one or two dribbles just to get the defense moving a little bit, and then they know right when to just pull it. And that's what he did. Like, you just take one or two dribbles, you get the defense moving one way, and then you just stop and pop it on them. And, that's just like I said, simple basketball stuff. And then, like, he's just being aggressive. He get the rebound, he drive down the court, take it to the basket, and, he made a play to score. It was like he was coming down the court, and his mentality was, I'm going to attack, and they're going to have to cut me off or stop me, because if they don't, I'm scoring. And like I said, he missed, but it just made it so easy for Oscar to just clean it up for him.
For his career in the putback.
He doesn't run the floor poorly, does he?
Pretty good start for the Wildcats. 10-point
Simple.
lead. We'll be back.
Curry has not had a touch on the box. They're doubling Curry.
Ellis to the basket, sweeps it and
See,
lays it in.
And another one of the points that I want to touch on is these guys obviously don't shoot free throws well. So if they're not going to be a great free throw shooting team, then obviously we got to have better defense, right? Because we're not going to be able to win a lot of close games if we can't shoot free throws. So we have to keep shooting percentages low. And, like, I get it. Like, Livingston is guarding the point guard. We don't expect him to be able to lock down point guards. But that was just too easy of a move right there. Let me rewind it back so you can see.
Point lead. We'll be back.
Curry has not
Check
had
this
a
out.
touch on the box. They're doubling Curry.
Ellis to
There
the
you
basket.
go.
It's
sweeps
just
it
too
and lays
easy,
it
man.
in.
And then they didn't get no help defense at the
Shot
rim,
clock
which
under
made
10.
it even
Wheeler
worse.
assessing. Toppin, aggressive. Toppin on the
This.
left.
See, Toppin just being
Twice
aggressive.
with the left. Wow. The little dribble.
And see, right there, like I said, it just goes back to what I'm saying. It's just simple. Like, he make his move, and he know he really don't got a good enough angle to pull this jumper, but he just keep his dribble. And you just take one or two more dribbles, and then you just go, and you all the way at the rim, and just easy basketball plays. And I don't know what happened, but he just wasn't making these type of plays consistently in the beginning of the year. Now, he was in the Bahamas. Like I said, in the summertime, he was doing all of this. But for some reason, when the season started, he just, I don't know if he just lost his confidence or whatever the case may be. But hopefully, going forward, this is the Toppin that we'll see, because in order for them to be anybody that's actually a quality team, they're gonna have 15 to 18 out of him. If they're not getting that, Kentucky's gonna just struggle offensively like they have been.
Dribble, drive, dominating. Look at this.
Speedway off
Pursuit. Huh?
It's amazing, though. I mean, guys have a nose for the basketball like that. It's amazing.
Well, I've heard him talk about look at this penetration. Too easy.
Simple basketball plays, man. That's Casey Wallace. Like I said, Casey Wallace has been the second most consistent dude on the team. So I'm not surprised that he did that. But that's just a simple basketball play, man.
11th tallest player in Division I.
Look at this. Too easy.
Now see, now this is what I'm talking about. Because the other guys are playing well, Oscar just able to seal one man around the basket. And that's just gonna make it so much easier for him. Like, if you really gotta watch Toppin, you really gotta watch Kaysen, then they just gonna have to, pick their poison, right? And if they're gonna leave one guy on Oscar, I'm pretty confident that he will score at a high percentage against one person because he's just so strong. You know what I mean? He might not have the greatest you know rating or whatever for going to the next level at the pros, but in college he should be big and strong enough to score around most people if he's single covered, especially if he seals and gets that deep. Let me run that back real quick.
Roosevelt Wheeler, 11th tallest player in Division I.
Look at this. Too easy.
Too easy, just like the announcer said, man. Just seal him off.
So vulnerable.
Just a little hook over the left shoulder.
Look at that. It's too easy for Taka.
And see, look, they moving the ball so much better and got players playing aggressive. It's like they really want the ball. Man, that was terrible defense on Oscar's part. I ain't gonna lie. And you see, it goes back to what I was saying. Like, if y'all not gonna be a good free throw shooting team, if you give up a large number of baskets like that to a team, you're going to be in a lot of close struggles, you know. Now, not to shit on Louisville, but Louisville's just not a good basketball team. Well, let me take that back, man. It's okay to shit on Louisville, especially on my channel. So Louisville fans, you just got to hold the L, man. But if you're going to be giving up plays like that against high-quality teams, you do that too many times, man. You might look up and be down by 10, 12 points real quickly. And like I said, if Kentucky's offense ain't clicking, then you're not going to be able to hang in the shootout. So they're going to have to get much better defensively. See, right here, you just look at the whole team just spread out. There's nobody to protect the rim. Oscar's the best post defender on the court at this moment. Toppin is capable of blocking shots, but if you look where he is, he's just so far away from the basket. It's like he's not able to protect the rim. And then you got Wheeler underneath the basket. And that's one of the things that I was telling some people about, like, you know, sometimes when you get caught up with some of these defenses, if you're not switching and making the correct reads, you can end up in moments like this where you got the smallest dude on the court is underneath the basket trying to block somebody out. And it's just a recipe for disaster because Wheeler will might end up fouling somebody, or, you know, they get an easy putback. So they got to learn to be a lot more disciplined on defense and make sure they in the right positions. And Oscar just can't give up a basket that easy, man. When you playing a quality opponent, you can't let them get too many like that. You want to get baskets like that and limit the other team from opportunities like that.
Ring pass, not enough air on but Wheeler. The point. J.J. Trainer's in there also at the 4 spot, which allows him to spread out. And he's an offensive rebounder,
wow.
too. Penetration.
How about that drive by Ellis?
See, like I'm saying.
Once you can't do that. Nice recovery, but goodness. Being pinned on a basket.
Here comes Ellis into the open floor.
Now, see, they did a couple of things right and a couple of things wrong. Once again, they got Oscar down low with a great position, and he missed the shot, but it still was a high-quality shot. But then they turn right around and do some bonehead shit. Like, he gets the rebound, panics underneath the basket. And it's like, look, you might not be able to save that ball. You might have to hold that ball and just fall out of bounds with it if you can't make a clean pass to somebody, because if you go out of bounds, okay, it's a turnover, but you can get your defense back and set up. If you throw the pass like that and you're not sure that you're going to get it to your man, you just, you know, obviously you still had a turnover, and now you creating fast break opportunities for Louisville. So you can't really just be making those type of plays. And, you know, somebody like Oscar, National Player of the Year, you have to be more focused mentally and just be more on point with the decision making. You got to limit the amount of times that type of play happens, because you're just going to just give the other team easy baskets. And if you give up too many of those, you can find yourself down. So they got to tighten up on D.
Wheeler, quick hands.
Well, you know, certain things annoy people as coaches or former players. You got to get the ball on the right side on the other end. Now, this is the earlier play and the run. You got to get it. You got the guy on your right. You got to cup it on the left, protect it, and get the layup.
They get it to Ellis on the curl again. That's a tough pass.
I think it was Kobe Brown too.
See what I'm saying?
Here's Ellis.
Good dish.
Down low, and he lays
Now
it
look.
in.
Now look. If Oscar gonna take off dribbling that ball, then you gotta dribble it, man. Like, and I think Oscar needs to learn how to lead the fast break. If he wants to be valuable in the pros, they pretty much ain't looking for big guys that's just stuck underneath the basket. They want big guys that can play like guards. When you're looking at the top centers in the league, they getting rebounds and they leading the fast break. So I'm not necessarily mad at Oscar for attempting to lead the fast break, but you can't stop that quickly. Go on past half court and bring it up, and then patiently wait for your guards if you don't have anything at that point. But you can't just take one or two dribbles, panic, and just throw it, because now they looking for that. Boom, they deflected. Now they gone the other way. They getting easy baskets. So you got to just be more sure of what you're going to do. Get the ball. If you don't want to dribble it, stop and just wait. Like, you just stop and wait for Wheeler to come right to you and just hand it to him. But if you're going to dribble it, take it all the way up the court and run the offense. But just be smart about it.
I like them competing. Look at the benches alive. I was impressed with the spirit at the practice.
And Ellis actually was playing well, man. He was just getting to the basket at will, making shit happen. He just doing his thing. See, they got to clean up some of that stuff, though. They got to make sure they make better entry passes. That's just things that the small, simple plays that top-notch teams do well. You just got to clean everything up, man. Like, you can't be sloppy. You got to be locked in every single play, man. You can't, for 1 second out there, you can't panic. You can't be focused. You got to be locked in. Like, if you're going to make the entry pass, you got to be patient and make the right pass, or just don't make it. But you can't just panic, rush, and just try to force it in there. Like, that's going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? The turnovers will hurt you. So they just got to make sure that they making the simple basketball plays at a high level.
This year, he's had 10 points or more. Again, he didn't have anything against Missouri. Here's Ellis. Ellis to the basket. That's a tough shot.
Ellis is just killing him. Like, Ellis off the dribble is just going wherever. Look. Okay, they actually defended him well on that play.
He feels like he'd probably do something here. Backing his way in against the freshman.
Got the strength.
And that was all right defense. That just was a good shot. Onienzo did what you were supposed to do. Can't knock him for that. See, nice. See, I really like the pick and roll offense. Like, when I ain't gonna lie to you, when I played basketball, I came up in the era where everybody wanted to show what they could do in isolation and different things like that. But I wish I would have actually spent more time perfecting the pick and roll, because I think you can get high level offense out of pick and roll, and it just gives you so many options. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go around the screen, you can pull the jump shot, you can get switches so that you can, like, post up players, you can do rolls for layups and alley oops, or you can go around the screen and, you know, if the man don't chase you around it and the defense don't slide, you can go to the basket. You just got so many options. So I love when Calipari has high-level guards and he uses them in pick and rolls. And I think sometimes, even if you don't have a high-level guard, if you get him in pick and roll, sometimes you can manufacture a better game out of him just by putting him in that type of position. So I love seeing plays like that. Let me rewind it again.
Backing his way in against the freshman.
Got the strength.
Wow.
Nice
points. He's perfect from the floor.
I think he transferred because he couldn't understand the accent.
The simple basketball plays, I keep going back to it. I keep drilling it because that's just how they're going to be able to win. Simple basketball plays.
How about that? That is a pretty shot.
Tough start, and they've responded pretty well.
It's part of what Kenny Payne said even yesterday. He said, you know, we give up these runs and then we don't answer. Wallace is...
And see now,
count the bucket.
and that was just one of them ones where it's like, you just got a guy that's just like that. You know what I'm saying? There's some dudes that just got the ability to make plays that not everybody can make. You know, Casey Wallace was a McDonald's All-American, high school All-American, all of that for a reason, because he's shown that he's capable of doing stuff like that. So every once in a while, you just got to rely on, you know, people just being able to make plays, you know what I'm saying? So that's how it worked out. They was running the dribble drive, and they couldn't get all the way around, and he just pulled it back out and then just went around his man and made a tough shot. So sometimes you do got to rely on that, but mostly you got to make a large percentage of the simple plays, man.
You mentioned Philadelphia. How about a Willie Moscone spin off the glass? Huh?
Well, they wanted him to go to the rack a little bit more. I guess that's going to the rack a little bit more. Angle wasn't there. Gets it back. Blocked away. And here's Curry. Curry off the glass. It's good.
And that was just, you know, he's just strong.
Wallace, the deterrent. Nice steal.
See,
Numbers here. I see Curry just can't get down.
turnovers, man. Turnovers will kill you.
To the basket, slips it off the glass.
See, right there, like, sometimes you just got to know, like, and a lot of the players that handle the ball for Calipari that was super ball handlers in high school, like Bledsoe, Wall, Teague, Shea, you know, Maxey, all of them type of dudes, like, that really could get to the rack, Briscoe, Ulis, everybody, Fox. You know, when they first get to college, they so used to being able to attack any angles, you know, run through 3-4 defenders. So they never felt like there wasn't a gap that they couldn't shoot through and get to wherever they was trying to get. So they turned the ball over a whole lot in the beginning of the seasons. If you go back and watch some of their games that happened earlier in the season and then watch them later in the year, you could tell they started to pick up more like where to attack and where to hold off. And, you know, Toppin doesn't have the same level of experience with handling the ball. I like him getting rebounds. I like him handling the ball. But, you know, if he's going to start doing that, he does need to figure out where he can, you know, he's got to realize what his speed and ability is and what it's going to afford him to be able to get by with on the court. So you got to know, like, if it's players in these positions, I can get through it. And if not, you got to hold it and just wait, because you can't just turn the ball over. You can't just be trying to make a play and then make dumb turnovers. Like, I want you to be aggressive, but you always got to be smart.
Big category. Wheeler picks the pocket.
That was some good D.
Livingston.
Nice block.
See, I would have liked to seen Livingston try to, like, use his left hand. Because I feel like you kind of let the defense off the hook a little bit by going to the side where he's defending.
Great recognition of scouting report. And then Curry, good job.
But that dude's just big and strong. So I see that now. That was an excellent drive by Livingston, and just a little kick and pop. Like, they can get those type of baskets. And see that right there. See, those last two plays is just simple basketball IQ plays. You drive into the middle, and boom. You don't make a hard pass. You just drive into the left. Then you just make a simple pass, and Toppin is just over here waiting. Just a simple catch and shoot. You know what I mean? Like, those are easy plays. Simple. And let me run it back. And you got Sheway post up. Toppin caught his man sleep and just flashed to a spot where Sheway could make a simple pass to him and got an easy basket. And then, you see Ware catching the ball in the post and quickly moving the ball, and he caught Wheeler open for a three. Simple basketball play. Defensively, though, they give up way too much off the dribble. They got to be more disciplined and slide more. Because what it seems like they do, they get caught off balance, and then they just end up reaching or slapping. See, Livingston being aggressive, but it's like they just seem to be making more.
Nice hesitation. That's a tough shot.
They seem to be making more plays where they just making better decisions, but they still turning the ball over too much. Their defense is not that great. That's one thing that they got to improve a lot on if they want to go far in March. They got to learn better defensive angles and learn how to slide more. Working hard on the boards though. Can't get mad at them for that. And you got. Now, that's the type of play that I've been waiting for from Collins, man. Like, see, like a lot of the times when Collins, and don't get it twisted, Collins has not had very very many opportunities to actually get in and make something happen. But the few that he has had, it seemed like he's just out there just being super robotic. Like when I watch him, it's almost like he's thinking like, okay, I got to go set this screen. I got to do this. I got to do it, instead of just reacting instinctively. And, that play right there, that was just a basketball play. Like you get to the spot where you can receive the ball, and then he just done what he does best. He utilized his strength, was his athleticism, and he went up and dunked the ball, and he might have should even maybe got the whistle on that. But because you didn't get the whistle and you made a strong play, not a soft layup attempt, you went to dunk it, you still got the bucket. So hopefully we'll see Collins be doing more of that. You know what I mean? Because I think Collins does got a high level potential. He should make the NBA. All he got to do is get stronger, and he's the type that they'll be looking for, like just a straight pogo stick, long arms, actually look like an okay shooter, but he can probably even improve that. He needs to be working hard, man, because if not, he's going to waste an opportunity to play in the NBA for sure. But yeah, they got to get, tougher on the glass, but they got to do a better job cleaning up the defensive glass for sure. But they do seem to work hard on offensive glass. Like you want one or two guys. Like even Livingston had to let that ball go for Sheway to get it a couple plays back. But I like that Livingston's down there like trying to get physical. Like I really appreciate seeing multiple guys down there trying to clean up the glass.
Diagonal screen, then a back. I think that they're going to try to do that, and I think
we're
going to see that this half.
See,
nice
okay. Yep. See, I don't like when I see stuff like that, because it's like you actually leaving the basket unguarded, man, and that hurts you. Like, see right here, I get that. Like, I get it, right? Oscar got to come up and play his man. But when you see that happen, if you top him, you have to get around to the backside of your dude. Like you can't front the man right. This is like he's way too high up. So if you got a man right here and he's that high up to the free throw line almost, and you giving up that much space around the glass, you can't be in front of him if there's nobody else to help you, right? Now, if you was closer to the basket and you could use the basket to kind of like be a help defender, like if you was down here a little bit closer, maybe where the circle is, you might could get away with fronting them, because you're going to have to make them throw the ball high over top of you, and then it might even hit the basket or it might go out of bounds. It'd just be a harder pass to make. But when Sheway comes up here, it's so much real estate back here that's just untouched. So you can't just stay in front of him. You gotta circle around to the backside. Or you're gonna get beat every time, and you just gonna, even if Oscar would have recovered a little bit, you're probably gonna foul this dude right here because he's just got a better position. So they just got to do a better job of doing stuff like that. Like you gotta be consciously aware and constantly able to readjust, right? Like you might have been making the right play in the beginning, but now things have changed. People have moved around the court, and you got to readjust quickly.
And I think you're going to see that this half.
Nice. Nobody really there to help.
Pretty.
Ellis assessing.
Nice slip.
Yep. Here's James for three. Yes.
That wasn't really too bad. Sometimes you can play some RID and people just gonna hit shots. Now that's the stuff that you got to see more of from this team. They got to move the ball, and people got to get to the open spots and just make plays. Now that was another one that wasn't really necessarily a good play, but he just made a tough shot.
Lands to the basket, off the glass, it's good.
It's bad transition defense, man.
There's that straight line drive, breaks you down.
Toppin, elbow jumper. He is in.
See, that's just a confident basketball player right there. Like he's just confident that he can make stuff happen. He can hit shots.
Frederick on that bench.
That was just a broken play. Well, ain't really too much you can do about that.
He had a good outing against NC State.
Wheeler down low.
That ended up working out, but that was a tough pass right there, man. But it worked out for him.
Curry, by the way, just checked out with 4 fouls. Reeves pulls it back out against this zone.
High low, they got Sheboy.
Yeah, he's
Forget it.
See,
Good night.
that's just excellent IQ. Nobody's panicking. Nobody's rushing. They just catching the ball, seeing the court, just having a feel for where people are. People's moving to the right spots. Like Sheboy made himself available in the right area. They not holding the ball. They like, I got it. All right, boom, I'm going here. All right, boom, I'm going there. Boom, I'm going here. Like they just moving the ball. It's not really fast, but just they moving it fast enough to where the defense is just constantly reacting instead of stopping, surveying, then moving. Like they making it to where the defense is just constantly sliding, constantly shifting, and that's how you get somebody open when you being zoned against.
Play. But that was the toughest, though, you thought. I thought
See,
when you played,
I just keep going back and forth to it. Just simple basketball plays, man. Simple. Like you got smaller guy on you, you seal him away from the basket, and Oscar just dump it right down to you, and you just turn around and dunk on him, like aggressively. Like that's what Toppin should be doing, man. Like I said, if Sheboy can get Case and Toppin playing well, we might have a legitimate shot to really make something happen. But they got to work on the defense, though.
They wanted to get him confident. Well, his confidence is blossoming.
Yeah, even, if a bigger man was guarding him right there, if he can get that same position, probably still can at least draw a foul if he can't actually finish the dunk.
he doesn't give up on a play. That's like a turnover, that shot. They got 5 on 4.
Oh, wow, look at this.
Now that Louisville just went to sleep right there. Like, Wheeler made the right play. Oscar did what you're supposed to do, but, honestly, Louisville just went to sleep.
Shot selection and push turnover is key.
They can't stop Ellis.
Wheeler, contact, throws it up, no good, gets his own rebound.
The penetration that they giving up is a little concerning for sure.
And the reason he got the rebound,
because
they were trying to...
that just opens up too much stuff if you just let a guy constantly see. Now he still got around Kaysen, but Kaysen make it a little tougher though. See, Reeves got to be aggressive too, man. He got to play just like Toppin. Yeah, that was a nice play, man.
Wallace shot fake, Toppin for 3, no good.
See that?
Oh man,
It's just amazing.
Toppin over the.
See, Toppin was just feeling it, man. Like when you get it going, it just affects your whole game. See, like normally he probably would have shot that shot, or he may have not even taken that shot. But if he would have shot that shot and missed it, he probably would just hung out on the 3-point line. Probably been looking for Calipari to yell at him or put him on the bench. But he's playing so good now, that he miss it, and he's focused, he's locked in. You can just tell he's living in the moment right now. So like he shoots it, but he ain't worried about it. He missed it, he seen it. Oscar throws up a shot, and now he's crashing because he's just locked in. He's mentally focused.
Top of Sheboy. So we're going to play the rest of the way. And as Louis Conisecchi used to say, leap the chandeliers. Oh, my goodness. What an impressive attack. Rip attack. Toppin.
24 points for Toppin. I mean, that's playing with confidence right there.
Exactly. And his teammate, Sheboy.
He just looked like he's sure what he can do, and he know he can do it easy.
Slip. Again. And there's your
That was an excellent play, man.
Wallace gets across the timeline with a couple seconds.
Say goodnight. Still going to make everybody else look good and get easy shots.
That's 9 assists.
Yeah.
Reeves outside for Wheeler. Shot clock at 5. Wheeler pull up Jay. It's good.
See, even though a lot of people get on Wheeler for taking too many shots because he's not really a great jump shooter, but that's the type of shit I can live with. You get Reeves, he goes to the basket. He can't get it. He can't get a clear shot. Boom, he kicks it out. Wheeler does another simple basketball play. Simple basketball plays I can live with. He just make a couple dribbles to the right, pull up. Like, simple basketball plays work, man. The more you complicate shit, the more chance of you making mistakes or, just fucking shit up. Just make simple basketball plays over and over and over. And the game just be so much easier.
That's all he has to do.
Roosevelt inside, no good. Gets his own rebound. And his little baseline jumper is...
For the NCAA clear, no probation, they'll get players.
Well, that'll...
Anyway, so it's pretty much over. But, so just some final thoughts before I wrap it up. I think they actually, if they can play better half-court offense, I think that would be the key to them winning the championship. But I do like when they run. I like when it seems like when they get out and run, they can find a way to get the big men some easier baskets, which a lot of them need it. Because offensively they don't have them big men that can just score against anybody. So when you get out and get them running and transition baskets, because that even Toppin, and I know Frederick has an injury, but Reeves, when you get them in transition and they catching and shooting, they just seem to play better. They seem to be more confident. So I like to see them run. But if they can figure out how to play that good in the half-court system and just make a lot of simple basketball plays over and over, and you see they end up scoring 86. So if they tighten some things up, clean up some stuff, they maybe can even start, averaging more closer to like 90 points a game. And at least if you're scoring 90 points a game, like the other team has got to be playing good defense to beat you, and they got to be scoring too. So I definitely liked what I saw from them offensively. Defensively, even though they still won by 23 points, they got a lot they can improve on defensively. And same with free throw shooting. Calipari has lost a whole lot of winnable games at Kentucky because his teams are historically not good free throw shooting team. I think if I remember correctly, when they actually won the championship with Anthony Davis and Jones and Gilchrist and all them, I think that Lamb was on that team. I think Lamb was shooting hot like 90 or something from the free throw line. So when you get a bunch of guys that can shoot free throws, you probably will have a lot more success because you can just win those close games at the end. If you shoot bad from the free throw line, a lot of times teams can just chip away little points at you here and there, and it just makes it tougher for you to close games out. And this team is probably not going to be blowing. Well, one thing I will say about this team, the teams that aren't good, they usually blow them out. So it's kind of one of them ones where it's like, well, it's not that impressive because they pretty much do this to everybody that's a low-ranking team. But I still was kind of impressed to see him do it against Louisville because even though Louisville was having a bad season, them rivalry games are always scary. So I definitely thought that Louisville was going to cover the point spread like they ended up doing, but I thought it would be much closer. Like I said, I think if I remember correctly, I think I said Kentucky by 9. But I wouldn't have been surprised if, it would have ended up even closer than that. But there's definitely some encouraging aspects of what's happening now. But going forward, we're going to have to really, this month is going to be the month where they got to start playing the best basketball. They got to start improving every single game. They got to tighten up defense because you about to start playing some teams that can get some buckets. So if you're going to give up all of these drives to the basket and let people get all the way to the glass, you're not going to recover and close out on three-point shooters fast enough. Simple things like people not being able to, be in the right spot for help defense, different things like that, it could get ugly for them. They could end up losing 10 games. I can very easily see them, if they don't end up improving, losing 10 games by the end of the season. And I definitely, I don't want them to have one of those seasons where we end up NIT or a low seed in the tournament. I want us to get at least a 5 seed. And it's going to be tough either way. If you don't get like one of those first 2, maybe 3 seeds in the tournament, you're going to have some pretty tough matchups right out the gate. But, man, now is the time. We got to turn it around and start making it happen now. This month is going to be the determining factor in the season, I think. But like I said, I'm encouraged. So we'll see what they do against LSU. A guy that I talked to, he's a big fan of what LSU is doing this year. I think the coach came from Murray State, if I remember correctly, and he brought a lot of his guys, and they doing really well. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully Kentucky can improve upon this game and get another W, and we can start to pile a little streak together and just get busy like we do. Quickly before I go, though, I want to ask the Louisville fans and even the Kentucky fans, like, chime in. How do y'all feel about Kenny Payne now, right? I know he still has only lost 2 games. I mean, only won 2 games, I'm sorry. He lost 11. But what do you... like, what's the temperature with Kenny as far as his coaching? Like, do you actually like what he's doing? Do you feel like he's not the right man for the job? Like, let me know what you're thinking about Kenny overall as a coach. Do you think he's going to be able to build Louisville into a big rivalry for Kentucky again? Like, or do you think it's going to end up just being like this, right? Y'all let me know what y'all think about it, man. And we'll get back at it next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.